Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Gleize Breakout. Our heroes today are going to be Easy, or E-Z-Y, playing as the Soviets in the blue. And his opponent is going to be none other than Jove, playing as the Ostir, or Wehrmacht faction in the red. Now, the main reason I say none other is, well, because Job holds the #1 spot and the number 3 and 4 spots for the factions, basically. At the time of casting, at least, his Ostir is ranked 2. So I guess it's not even 3 anymore. He just ranked up. There you go. So, number 2 player here for the Ostir. So that should be a pretty difficult match here for Easy. But hopefully it'll be a good one. We'll see how it pans out. So, Easy, for his part, has gotten conscripts, and more conscripts. Probably even more conscripts after that. No tech. Pretty usual. Not, of course, the only thing you can do, but it's pretty standard to do that. Job went ahead and got Grenz, and more Grenz. No MG, even though he can build one, but so far, just getting Grenz, of course, tier 1, like you would expect. Right-hand side, we see a bit of an engagement here as the conscripts get caught in the open by 2 Grenadier squads. Grenadiers were trying to cap the center, but they popped themselves inside this house and are able to deny a little bit of territory as they delay the engagement since they have the cover inside the house. Popping themselves out, then popping back in, conscripts behind them, popping into more houses, making sure that they're utilizing cover to the best of their abilities. There's a little tactical movement here by Easy as he pops in and out of cover, making sure that his troops are guarded at all times, essentially. Conscripts not managing to capture the center point. It looks like Easy is going to be abandoning the center point in favor of popping into the house and being able to provide some fire. Cool thing about this house is you can see the sheer amount of windows it has. The entire squad is able to fire back at the Gren squad out in the open, which means that they will win the engagement. Even though technically they are both in heavy cover, so I guess the Grens, they still have a shot. But it is, much superior. Conscripts coming up on a nice little angle here in the house, even though they cannot see anybody inside. They're still able to shoot at the house and actually provide damage to the guys inside. It's actually less, but still, it works. And yeah, you can see the engagement here as it goes on. The Grens outside, down to 3 men, have a second Gren squad supporting from the house across the street. So the conscripts inside this one will be losing, but, still the engagement is tough here. Pretty urban, essentially. Grens popping into the house. Combat engineers now with flamethrowers moving across the, market, I guess, kind of thing here. MG42 now on the field for Job, trying to push out. It does have a conscript squad to contend with. Currently being covered by the fog of war, or, line of sight here as the fence is blocking its shots or its sight range for the conscript squad, so it's able to push relatively close. Combat engineer back at base, going to be building tier 2 for Easy, as we see, no tech so far for Job. Just more Grens, 4 Grens in totals, and he, of course, did get that MG42. MG42 setting up across the market here, being able to shoot inside as it gets an angle through the walls. Conscript squad does finally capture that center point, but is forced finally away as the combat engineer squad moves up to get a flamethrower blast on that Grand squad, killing one of the members inside and forcing them to pop out. They're going to be able to get a nice angle there and flank on the combat engineer squad as they go for the capping of the point. Combat engineers not in range to throw the flamethrower, and they are also unable to shoot back because of the MG42. MG42 managing to find a hold, get a shot off, kill one of the members, and forces the squad away as Jove finally takes the center. Right-hand side, conscripts moving back as pioneers with flamethrowers also putting their damage on top of them. Flamethrower burst going to be going off, doing a lot of damage on the conscripts, down to 2 men, forces the retreat. And it'll make it out. But, well, Easy is getting pushed back. Conscripts moving out on the right-hand side, going to get engaged by the Grens. On the far right-hand side, we do have another conscript squad going for the fuel, as the left-hand side is pretty much completely controlled by Easy. We finally see a Gren squad moving in that direction for Job, trying to capture some territory. Far right-hand side, engagement goes down. Piles and Grens. Conscripts Ura away. They're not going to retreat. They're going to want to stay on the field, so they're just going to go and decap some more territory rather than retreating. Pile's going to have to cross the field, or, well, the open field is what I'm trying to say. And they will get themselves shot up in the process. The conscripts are out in the open. Flamethrower burst goes off. I've been told that doesn't work based on cover, but it seems to me like it kind of does do a little bit less damage on the open, but I guess that's just my perception. And it's not actually true. So anyways, Conscript Squad does end up getting a lot of damage on it, forced to retreat. Did manage to decap that strategic point. Second Conscript Squad on the flank, getting some shots on the Pios. Pios losing one member, but more Grins moving in that direction to support, as Job is on point and keeping his squad supported. Med Bunker going down for Job. Conscript Squad moving up, but not getting straight to the point. Now they do. Bit of a light cover there by the craters. Far right-hand side, a Conscript Squad moving up to engage the approaching infantry. Pio's going to get Flamethrower Burst on it as it gets shot up. Might actually go down here, but with the support of the Grand Squad, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to retreat long before that. Sorry, just taking some note here on my earbuds. It's a weird thing. Like I was saying, I have said a couple games that they messed up and I could only hear from one. The thing is that it seems to be the game and the sound source, because anything else coming from that sound source I can actually hear on both earbuds. But the game only comes through one channel. I don't know exactly why, but oh well. I'll figure it out eventually. I don't exactly care too much. I just need to be able to hear what's going on in the game, and well, I can still do it with one ear. So conscripts and combat engineers and such capturing on the left-hand side. Big push here in the center for Easy as he pops his conscripts and combat engineers inside. More conscripts on the side. MG42 managing to get some shots off on it. Will get it suppressed as it is not entirely in the cover. However, a second conscript squad goes for the flank, gets itself right behind that MG42, and actually pops inside the house. Flamethrower burst going from the combat engineer, forcing the retreat of both squads down to one man on the Gren, but I don't think the conscripts are going to be able to get enough shots on it to kill it off. Down on the south, Grand Squad again getting flamethrowered, forced to retreat, and the other conscript squad holds strong at 5 men, forcing the retreat. Half-track with anti-air package already upgraded. Going to be helping out quite a bit here for Easy. That is, of course, well, nowadays it's essentially an MG on wheels. Very good at suppressing and killing infantry, and of course you have the ability to reinforce on the fly, which is just fantastic. Conscripts trying to catch the Pios on the retreat. The MG, or well, not the MG, the AA gun on top of the half-track, getting some good shots off on it, but, well, only doing a little bit of health damage. Not that it's important considering we have medics back at base for Job, so he'll be able to heal up any actual health damage to the units. Gren's in the center, moving around, going to be popping inside the house, I guess? No. AA gun taking some shots, but missing. And the conscripts are now moving over to the right-hand side for Easy as they try to recover some more territory. Victory points, 449 to 446. Pretty goddamn even, if I say so. So nobody's game at that point. So we did see a tier 2 to tier 3. So only utilizing tier 3 to get tier 2. But being very, safe in that matter, because of course tier 2 is the one that gives you access to the AT guns. Half-track moving around on the left-hand side. Going to be able to get some good shots off on the Grens as they cross through the open. Gren's actually going to be able to get a Faust off on it, so the half-track will take some damage here. Oh, never mind. It actually hits retreat before the Faust goes off. So Job forgiving, being merciful here to Easy and not getting a Faust off on him. We do have a pack gun on the field. It's only now coming out, so it probably wouldn't have been able to kill the half-track regardless, so I guess it's okay to save that munitions. Conscripts on the right-hand side engaging against Gren's long range and heavy cover. The conscripts will lose that type of engagement, but with the second conscript squad coming up on the flank to support, the conscripts should easily win. The original squad, though, does move out of the way, sets itself up in some cover by the cemetery, and leaves the other squad to fight for itself. Not exactly the best of situations, but I guess it still works. MG42 setting inside this stone house. Turning its sights over to the right-hand side, as we see a conscript squad retreating from the north. The wire was laid down here, that's why they were retreating in that angle. Conscript squad did force the retreat of the Grens on the far right-hand side, and are going to be capturing the fuel. The half-track in the center has taken some damage to the AT gun, pack gun, but it's still alive and has combat engineers nearby to help, so it'll be okay. Far right-hand side, conscripts moving around as well. Half-track could be moved in this direction to just crush the wire and open up the approach, but I don't think that's going to happen very soon. As the combat engineers are still repairing the tank, not the tank, the half-track in the center. Infantry moving around for Job, trying to recapture some more territory. Far right-hand side, the conscripts going for the point, as inside the church grounds, I guess, because of the wall. We have the Pios capturing the victory point. Gren's going for the fuel. More Gren's going for points. Pios with sweepers just moving around. And a pack gun. Easy has medics, so that's good. Tier 4. Interesting. AT gun being built for easy. As Tier 4 has gone down. Very quick jump. Wonder why. Can only assume a T-34 is what he's aiming for. Second pack gun is being produced for Job. Job has gone for his Doctrine, and that is the mobile defense Doctrine. Nothing utilized out of it just yet. Oh, nasty shot there by the pack gun. Gets a good hit on the half-track. May actually take it out. Ooh, takes a shot but misses. It actually almost looked like it kind of wanted to hit its own Pios, but nothing really happened. Conscripts running away. Gonna get themselves out of that line of sight. Just abandon that territory. Combat engineers behind the lines going for the church. Going for the church. Pios with flamethrowers going to get right on top of them and, well, do a lot of damage. Combat engineers going to be evacuating here. Not even going to pop into the stone church, as that would, well, almost get them killed considering the flamethrower. And the conscripts hold their ground a little bit south of the church. Left-hand side, Pios going for the center point. We have conscripts and combat engineers moving in that direction. We also have the half-track set up on the far left-hand side. Has taken some damage. It's down to about half health. But we do have a Grand Squad with an LMG down to 2 men being forced to retreat. Pios and conscripts engaging at close range. The sweeper there is not going to help them in the engagement, so it pretty much forces them to retreat. Pack gun is nearby. Could get some shots off on the half-track. The half-track is going to get some repairs going on it by the combat engineers. That could actually get it killed considering its position, and pack gun sets up. Going to be able to get a shot off on it. Oh, there goes a good hit. The half-track moves out of the way to get cover behind the house. The pack gun is unable to finish it off with a second shot. And the half-track gains Veteran C2, which is actually kind of nice for it. Veteran C2 improves the mobility and the radius of reinforcement, which makes it that much more powerful in engagements. Conscripts by the church getting kind of messed up there by the pathing, essentially, because of the blockage here. Forced to retreat. Center point, conscripts getting caught by an MG. The MG is on the far right-hand side, so they managed to crawl out of its arc of fire and still continue to capture the point. Gren's popping into this house, being able to provide a full firepower since there's only 3 of them. Back at the conscripts are out in the open, so they'll eventually lose that engagement, but they're going to be able to cap the point long before that happens. So back at base, Tier 2 and Tier 1 down. Nothing else being produced here for Job. We do see Battle Phase 2 available, but not being selected just yet. And out of the base, or well, not out of the base, but out of Tier 4, we see Easy going for a Katusha. Very interesting. Haven't seen the caddy being utilized in quite a while. Don't particularly like it too much in the sense that it has too much spread, but when it gets those hits, it really gets those hits and can actually turn a game very easily for you. Well, not easily, but if it does get the hits, it actually turns the game for you. Otherwise, it's actually kind of difficult for it to do much. So pack guns moving around the right-hand side. We see the half-track moving up very close to the base, getting some shots off on the side to a Pios squad. The Pios squad moves out of the way as conscripts are holed up inside this house. Very weird. It looks like 2 different houses, but they actually occupy the same entity, I suppose. Combat engineers popping inside the house. MG42 getting some shots inside. It does pop its incendiary rounds, which should help it do some damage in there. Gets 1 more kill on the NG squad and forces it to retreat. Conscripts Ura away. They do have the half-track nearby, so they don't actually have to retreat. They can just reinforce on the fly. Right-hand side. Oh, we see the Katusha nailing a good barrage there. Actually hit. Oh, damn. Almost gets another Grand Squad, but manages to hit the MG42. MG42 has been cleared out, but we do have Grands and Pios nearby, which will be able to recover it, so it will not be falling into Soviet hands. But the Katusha makes itself known and gets a good 3 hits in there. I mean, Gets a decent amount of damage and a kill and such. So yeah, I mean, it actually did a good job in the first barrage. So very good. Panzer IV now coming onto the field for Job as it gets called in through the Doctrine. Conscripts trying to hold against it. They are in heavy cover, but the stubby little gun on it is actually pretty good against infantry, so they need to be rather careful. AT gun is on the field there for Mr. Easy. Takes a good shot at the Panzer IV. Panzer IV takes damage and is forced to back off. Conscripts were forced to retreat as they took some damage, but they are still there, still alive. Far right hand side, conscripts for Easy moving around. Not much else happening just yet. We see the Panzer IV moving in the direction of the conscript squad far behind the lines. Considering its movement, yeah, okay, so Joe manages to correct the movement before anything happened. But yeah, it was, oh, that was a nasty shot there by the command tank. Down to 2 men. Not going to be able to get a kill, although it is going to be able to get an extra shot. Oof, misses the shot. Combat engineers now going to be getting themselves killed if they continue to push forward. Lose 1 man and do end up hitting retreat. And the shot misses. But yeah, the Panzer IV was about to crush the wall, so Jove managing to course correct in the last second. Grens on the left-hand side, going to be trying to take out the half-track as they push forward. Pack-gun managing to get a shot off on it, but it hits overdrive and GTFOs. Conscripts getting right on top of the Grens. They have a second Gren squad nearby with an LMG, so the conscripts will lose the engagement. No Molotovs on the conscripts, so they're not even able to do that to try and help themselves. And the half-track in the center getting some shots on the Pile squad as the second AT gun takes a shot at it, but eventually misses. Grens, however, going to be pushing forward, revealing the half-track. Katusha throwing a barrage into the center. Getting an almost hit there on the Gren squad, but not managing to nail it. Command tank trying to flush out a conscript squad inside this house, as the Grens do end up having to retreat. Left-hand side, the half-track is getting repaired as we have a Gren squad hiding behind the building that it's taking cover from. And the command tank inside is doing more damage to the building itself than the conscripts inside, but that's actually still dangerous as it could actually collapse the building. Oh, shot flies from the pack gun and the Gren squad, managing to get the half-track abandoned. Combat engineers are going to try and steal it. No, it looks like they're going to try and repair it before it gets taken out. Panzer IV, however, is going to go on the hunt and going to be getting a kill. T-34 is coming online, or well, it's already online. Panzer IV manages to take out the half-track. The combat engineers are kind of sad as they were trying to repair it before it got killed. AT gun was set up around here, but does not manage to get a shot off on it. It is getting shot at from behind, as we do have a Gren squad with an LMG picking it off. And we now have the T-34 versus the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV command tank is not equipped or well equipped against the T-34, so that actually gives Easy the upper hand there. However, Easy does have 2 pack guns, whereas, sorry, Jove has 2 pack guns, whereas Easy has 1 AT gun. So he is actually, he lost his AT gun. He's currently retreating. Needs to get some units out there. Easy has lost quite a bit. He's down to actually 2 conscript squads and 2 combat engineers. I'm actually going to make a note here and see if I can catch all that. If I did, you probably saw it. We'll see when the conscripts died. 2 conscripts before the 19th. Panzer IV getting some veterancy on it. Must feel pretty good. Veterancy 1 gets the blitzkrieg ability. Katusha throwing some barrages into the center. Not really catching anything out there, as we see a Gren squad retreating. Panzer IV, being a little bit reckless there, crashes into a house, breaking a hole open on its side. Conscripts in the center do manage to capture that victory points. Victory points are 368 to 269, so while Easy has suffered a lot of losses compared to Job, he does have a 100-point lead, so that kind of buys him a little bit of time. Still, though, he only has 1 point so far. And the T-34 catches a Pile squad on the far left-hand side. The Pile squad hits retreat. T-34 not going to be able to crush it, but can he actually get the hit? No, actually missed completely. Could get a little bit more damage in there and potentially kill at least one, doing some manpower damage. Nope, misses completely. Pack gun sets up to be able to shoot at it. Nope, it's not in range, and Grens are moving around. Incendiary barrage getting called in by Easy right on top of the approaching Grens. Combat engineer is going to be trying to fight against the Grens. Flamethrowers and fire in the ground doing a lot of damage to one Gren squad, forcing it to retreat. Combat engineer squad down to 2 men. Pack gun getting some shots off at a distance. T-34 forced to back off out of the way. Command tank still moving around. Does have its defensive buff going around the troops. And we see Easy going for the shock rifle frontline tactics as he call in a shock troops to be able to, you know, bolster his infantry numbers. Conscripts on the right-hand side get an AT grenade off on that command tank as they are forced to retreat. Very risky there as they could have easily died in one shot. Down to 2 men, but they make it out of there. Conscripts still moving on the right-hand side. That wire still set up, still in place, and the MG42 is currently covering the left-hand side. Kind of cool looking there as it's on top of the tower. Wonder if that actually gives it enough line of sight or something, but who knows. T-34 just sitting around here in the center trying to support the combat engineers. The Katusha is still alive, only has 3 kills so far. It hasn't done much else. Hasn't had too much luck. The AT gun did get recovered for Easy, so, you know, at least he didn't lose that. And the shock troops are currently moving over to the far left-hand side to go for the victory point. Grens going to get engaged here by the combat engineers as they pop inside the house, being able to get a good flamethrower burst off on them. There it goes, forces a retreat. It is a veteran T3 squad, so it was unlikely to die, and Jove is not going to let that happen. Conscripts on the right-hand side, just moving around. T-34 moving around the house as well, making sure that it still provides some cover against that pack gun. Pack gun could still shoot through the house if it attacks ground, but that usually doesn't happen that often. Conscripts on the right-hand side, being forced to retreat as Grens just try to capture some more territory. Panzer IV, command tank, you know, just being too good there. And we see Tellermines getting laid down here for Job, as he just continues to power up. Panzer IV getting built for Job. Good decision to have another tank there. Could have gone for Stugs if he wanted to, but yeah, I mean, the multi-purposeness of the Panzer IV, I think, is also great. They can move around separately or as one. So, Easy, trying to capture some more territory. Conscripts forced to retreat. AT gun moving up. The Panzer IV command tank getting some shots on the combat engineers. Combat engineers being able to move around. They have taken a lot of health damage, but the Panzer IV unable to get good shots off on it. AT gun sets up right in front of the Panzer IV. Gets a good shot off on it. Returns fire into one of the men of the squad that were out in the open, but the AT gun is unable to shoot again. Up in the north, shock troop squad going for some Grens and a pack gun. The pack gun able to stay alive, and the Grens just quickly able to force the retreat. Combat engineers forcing the retreat of that as well. The Katusha hasn't really done too much. Still available for a barrage. There we go. Barrage is going to be going into the center, I would assume. Yeah. T-34. Good barrage into the center, but doesn't manage to hit too much. Shot flying, almost hits the pack gun, but the command tank moves out of the way, and yeah, that spread of the Katusha, you know, can be wonderful, but most of the time it's not. AT gun taking some losses here as it moves out of the way. Panzer IV now moving up on the side of it, gets upgraded with the MG on top, which will very easily help it to take out this AT gun down to 2 men. LMGs on the side, manages to get a shot off on the Panzer IV, but only gets itself cleared out. Panzer IV will be just taking some shots at the AT gun to destroy it. Yep, one more shot should do that. The T-34 has engine damage, not destroyed, but has some engine damage there, which, yeah, I don't see how easy it's going to be bouncing back here. 244 to 269, so he's lost his 100-point lead. Now on the deficit. And, oh, nice hit there on the Panzer IV. Panzer IV hitting a mine, it looks like. But the AT gun has been destroyed, and Easy is unable to finish the job. Conscripts on the right-hand side trying to engage the pack gun, but Grens are nearby to fend it off. Conscript squad may actually be going down. We do see an Su-85 getting built for Mr. Easy. Will that actually be enough? Will that help him out? Well, it'll help him out, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Back at base, we do see the Panzer IV down to less than half health, getting repaired here by Pios. We see the T-34 now back to full strength, moving up and engaging against these Grens. The Su-85 is on station. It's moving over on the left-hand side. The Panzer IV still at about 75% strength. Needs a little bit more repairs to get that engine back in working order. Combat engineer setting up right beside that house, trying to flush out the Grens, but the Grens do manage to eliminate it as it retreats. Faust's going to be going off on the Su-85, getting damage on the engine. The engine is destroyed. This T-34 is not set to fire at infantry, which is a big mistake here. T-34 now breaking its target vehicle, or prioritized vehicle setting. Su-85 goes down, and a GG goes down by Easy as he throws in the towel after losing too much. Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning, it was going to be tough. I mean, Jove is not, you know, number 1 or number 2, I guess, at the time of casting Austere for no reason. Able to put up a very, very good fight, and yeah, I mean, he did pretty well. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.